Hey everybody, David here from multitool.org. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the new Leatherman knives. This one would be the Blazer. The Blazer is one of 5 different knives that was announced as of yesterday. Leatherman has gotten quite a bit of social media backlash, I guess is a nice way to say it. People are frustrated that Leatherman didn't announce new multi-tools. Instead, they announced new knives. And people were even more taken back by the price, considering most of them are $300 or close to $300. There's certain things to take into consideration. Is these are made in America, and I do realize that there are knives that are made by people like Kershaw and can't think of any others off the top of my head. I know some things that people were using as an illustration was like the Kershaw Bel Air, the Kershaw Iridium in particular, but there are also like Hogue Deca and some others where their prices are definitely under $300 and they are still made in America. So I can't vouch 100% for Leatherman's decision to go $300 on the price, but we're fixing to dive in on things and take a first look. So I have just taken this out of the package. I have not opened it yet. So you guys get the benefit of an unboxing as well as a first impression. You guys seeing this is the same as me seeing this for the first time. I have only seen the promotional videos that Leatherman has announced, as well as I think a video by GP Knives and maybe somebody else. I did see a video that was a factory tour of the new Leatherman facility that is building these. They created a whole facility just for these knives. So Leatherman is all in. Leatherman is jumping both feet forward. And frankly, I think a lot like how multitool.org has gone from just a multi-tool based site to being EDC, I believe Leatherman is going the same route. Leatherman's trying to become more adaptable in the marketplace, trying to be more well-rounded. Why pigeonhole yourself just in multi-tools if you can also be in other areas as well and be just as successful? And that's what I think Leatherman's trying to do. Price tag aside, I'm expecting this to be a very nice product that is along the same lines as, say, my Benchmades. So let's get things open. Let's take a look, because I'm just as eager to check this out as you guys are to see it as well. It's just white packaging, doesn't have anything fancy on it other than it says designed and manufactured in Portland, Oregon. Leatherman Tool Group, established in 1983. There's Leatherman logo on the top. Information on the back that says it's the Blazer in denim blue, no sheath. Leatherman's address. Find it interesting that Leatherman has Leatherman Europe's Germany address on there too. Let's see. Leatherman, 25-year warranty, made in the USA. Ooh, it's a drawer. Didn't expect that. It's a drawer. Ooh. Interesting. Leatherman, 25-year warranty, made in the USA. In 1983, Leatherman was founded on the promise to empower people to help themselves and help others. To continue this legacy, we've designed and engineered our knives to be durable and useful for any situation or adventure. See more at leatherman.com. Okay. It's got a little elastic band to help hold the knife in place. First, I guess we'll hang on. We'll dive into the contents before I start talking about what I'm thinking. That's an interesting little tidbit. So it's got a little book Probably talks about all the rest, all the other knives. Yeah, it's just kind of a breakdown of all the different knives that are in the series. And the one that we're looking at today is this one here, the Blazer. The slim EDC folder is equipped with a stainless steel handle and magnet cut blade, perfect for daily tasks or demanding jobs in tough environments. One of the reasons I went with this one is because it not only is a drop point blade, but it also features a hollow saber grind. So this should be excellent at slicing. So it contains that. It contains a little warranty book. Ooh, how to sharpen your Leatherman knife. Quite a bit of information on sharpening. This is in multiple languages. Maintenance information. Yeah, it's in multiple languages, is what it is. Okay. It comes with a little QR card. Probably just brings you to, oh, well, Leatherman.com pages sharpening. So I guess if you want to learn how to sharpen this knife, there's a little QR code to get you there. This is the knot guide. How to tie different types of knots. It's interesting. I mean, if you're not tying lanyards and stuff all the time, I can see how a knot guide would be interesting. And tells you how to use the bead, because I learned that in the videos that it comes with a bead, that kind of a lanyard for your knife, and then has one little double-ended Leatherman bits, and this will be used to tear down the knife. One of the big things that Leatherman wanted to talk about with his customer base was that this knife, they want you to take it apart. They want you to see everything that they've put into this knife. They aren't afraid of you to take it apart and service it, oil it up, whatever you're going to do. So that's cool. This just tells you how to use it once the bits and the bead and whatnot. Your Leatherman includes a lanyard and bead, useful for everyday carry and for the occasional quick fix. This bead can hold both Leatherman and standard 1/4 inch bits. Here's a guide on how to use it. Okay. But I thought this was really interesting when it fell out here, that there's an assembly card now. So Leatherman, so assembled by this individual and inspected by. That's kind of nice. Built with pride and precision in Portland, Oregon. Made for to be used for any adventure. That's cool. That's cool. So I'll put the lanyard out of the way for now. That lanyard actually got a little bit of weight to it. Here we go. Leatherman Blazer. So, first off, and the first thing that popped in my head when I went to take it out of the box was the weight. From what I saw when they were talking about these knives, when GP Knives was doing the tour of the facility, that the handles are manufactured from 4100 series stainless steel and then Cerakoted. There's an awful lot of milling in these in order to help reduce the weight, so they're able to keep the structural integrity of it being a steel handle, but also try and shave the weight down so it's not very heavy. I like the finish. The whatever you would call them, striations, the lines that go horizontally from the manufacturing process are still there, and the Cerakote finish doesn't completely cover that up, so you can actually see all the brush strokes horizontal. Unlike the leaked media photos, I'm glad that Leatherman USA is centered around the pivot. It's not wonky like it was in the photo. I always seem to have the dogs always want to eat every time I'm sitting here at the table making a video. It's ironic. Okay. The wire clip is pretty thick. It's a thick boy. It's not like a standard wire clip. It's just, it looks like a wire clip, but it's flat and it's probably got a good amount of tension to it. It does. The sucker's tight. It's not going to have as much flex. I happen to have my Vosti Corgi here, and this has a little bit of flex to it. A lot of wire clips have got a little bit of flex to them. This guy is tight. And it does say Leatherman right here on the pot clip. I guess if you're carrying a Leatherman knife, you want everybody else in the world to know that you're carrying a $300 piece of engineering. I find it interesting that they didn't Cerakote the edges of the handle. They didn't Cerakote the edges, and they said in the video that the reason that they did that is because they wanted people to appreciate that it was all milled out of steel. I personally would have liked to have had them all Cerakoted all the way around, but that's personal preference. Let's see. I'm assuming it has bearings, and one would assume it does, but why is that not? I bet you it just has washers in there. It doesn't have bearings. And I may have to tune the pivot to the way I want it, because when I click the lock over, it doesn't just want to drop. I'm so used to Benchmade's with the access lock, or even, even my Corgi with the Venker lock. If I release the lock, it's going to swing freely. But I'm used to bearings, even though Benchmade does have some pretty polished washers to do that. But I may have to loosen that pivot just a little bit, because that sucker is tight. So the knife utilizes a top liner lock. In essence, it's a top liner lock, no different than what Vosti's doing. I'm trying to think of other manufacturers that are doing top liner lock. There's so many right now that are doing top liners. It's crazy. At least 3 or 4 different manufacturers with multiple models being involved. I know HX Outdoors has a top liner lock that I may be taking a look at. So, but it doesn't look like anything fancy. We'll zoom in here, because I'm sure. Let's see if we can zoom in some here. It's just, you'll see that there's that's the lock face. That piece right there, that's the lock face, and whenever it comes around, just like a Spyderco compression lock, that lock's going to kick over, only in the other direction, of course, and it's just button actuated. I find it funny that there's a little dimple right there. I guess that's where they attach the end of this button on that liner. They've got it tacked right there. Also, I find it interesting that the liner, maybe this is where the patent pending comes in. Whenever I push on the liner, you've got that on the other side. I wonder if there's more going on than what we realized, because they called it a top liner lock type of deal when they said patent pending. So there might be more going on than what we think is going on. I may have to do a teardown on this thing in the future to see what makes it special that they have to do patent pending on it. I'll zoom back out here again. I like the blade. It's a good drop point shape. I like the handle has the brush lines that go this way. You can also see the striations in the blade that run down, and you also see the grain structure that goes. I'm not sure if you guys can see. There we go. I think you guys can see that. Well, okay, I was not sure if I could pull that off because of how tight it is. I don't quite like that. I don't like how that button pops out on the other side. I wish that's weird, because whenever you push this lock, your finger wants to hit that other spot And it doesn't impede the unlocking of it, but there's a tension there, almost like, see, now there's not. It's almost like that's a bad placement for that, I think. Like, they either shouldn't have done that, or, and all it is that button is like how that button is tacked to the liner. The other button, this piece here, is tacked to the other side of this liner, but I don't know why they have that there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Without a teardown, I don't know why it's there. I find it interesting that the thumb studs, if you will, are attached via a screw in the top versus standard thumb studs. Is it comfortable? Yeah, it's comfortable. It's devoid of any jimping at all, which I'm not happy nor mad about at the same time. Sometimes I think that jimping's a little overrated. But if you're using this every day, but you're not going to use it hard, I don't see why you would need to have the jimping. Jimping's nice to have, though, sometimes. Words just escape me. I support Leatherman and everything they do, but I just don't know if this is $300. Yes, it's a nice blade made out of Magnicut. Big old sharpening choil at the rear there. Looks like they've done a really good job at sharpening. It's really sharp. I don't have a piece of paper for demonstration purposes, but trust me, it's sharp. I don't know, any questions that you guys may have? If you guys would hit me up in the comments section, and that way any questions you have, I can answer them. It's nice. It really is nice. From what I saw in the video, and I can see here in person, construction is very simplistic. Because they're using a stainless steel handle, they're able to not have all the, not have a screw here and a screw here and a screw over here and whatnot. The only thing that's holding this knife together is this screw here, which helps connect the pocket clip, but also the pivot, and that's it. It's so rigid and stuff. I want to see if we can see the liners on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see the milling out that they've done in there. That skeletonized. They have skeletonized the mess out of this to try and make it as light as possible. And I've already talked for 18 minutes, so I'm trying not to make this too long because TikTok people aren't going to want to hang out for too long watching this video. But anyways, I'll wrap this up. There you guys go. There is the Leatherman Blaze. I like it, but I have questions. I have questions regarding the button. I'm not so sure I like the pocket clip. After I carry it for a day or two, I'm sure whether I'm going to like it any more than a standard spring clip or wire clip. And I'm going to have to loosen that pivot up a little bit because that joker is tight. If I can't, this blade doesn't want to drop at all, and I have to push, like there's significant friction for me to push that blade down in order to close it. So I'm going to have to adjust that. But it seems to pop out fairly easy. But anyways, this video is for you guys as well as it was for me. Yeah, hit me up in the comments. We'll talk about this.